You could clip that up. Ooh, ooh, that's a sound of police. Shout out to KRS-One though. Big energy. If you know, you know. This shit's still going. And it's because I decided to press record because this message is literally heavy and a trigger warning. And if you have any sexual abuse in your life, I, from the bottom of my heart, apologize to you. Because there is nobody that has to deal with that, should have to deal with that, as a victim of that on multiple occasions. No people aware of it, and I'm aware that nothing was said or done. Because it kept happening. From both sexes. And something made me think today. I'm in the middle of doing my nails. You know, this is what I do on Saturn day, and I'm thankful that the sun shines every single Sabbath day. And the thought came to me. It said, what if people genuinely in their minds believe that sexual abuse is a rite of passage? What if there are really organizations and groups of people who commune together and consider this a rite of passage to see how deep you will truly go for greed? We unapologetic for 2025. You hear me, dog? No one knows what is to come. There is not a man who knows of the hour, they say, yeah? What if it is a rite of passage? Because this is my thought, and I've been testing this thought out with different groups, different ethnicities, different cultures. The conversation of dogs, physical animal dogs, like from the Caucasus Mountains. Shout out to my sister. That I believe dogs are genuinely child abusers. What type of life is it to always agree to a command? They say dogs are man's best friends and they have to do whatever that they say. Right? Sit, roll over, paw, stand, jump, turn around, drop it down low, hey, whatever, you know, all that shit. They be doing it. Go to the bathroom, go eat. They listen every single time. So the part that got me thinking about this one day is, you know, I met Marble Joy, which was like my baby Bob, when I was down in the country in Alabama last year during a critical time in my family. And she was born under a house 2 houses down from our house in the country. And people were selling these damn dogs on Facebook. I'm like, bruh, this is my family property. If anything, I'm getting dibs on whatever dog I want. What is you talking about? So Marble kept running past me, and one day it was like a litter of 4 of them. And I was outside doing yoga, and she just came, and she was like the runt. She would always want to lay in the dark, you know, spaces behind the bushes. And I was like, nah, this gonna really be my homie. But I learned that dogs liked yoga because I had typically started recording my yoga sessions on a time lapse. And every time I moved, they would move closer to me and closer to me. So I knew that if I wanted to be a mom one day, this was the greatest test. So I didn't keep all 4 of them, but I didn't keep any of them that day. And I just started praying, and I was like, you know, bring me these little babies. So the mom started coming, then the brothers started coming. It was literally like a pack of dogs, like 15 dogs deep with all of the whole litter. It was like 9 dogs or something. So I'm like, yo, they come to my house, sit on my porch. They literally like protect me while I'm doing yoga, you know. But if I tell them to go sit over there, get away, get off the porch. This is Marble space. Like, me and Marble would only do yoga, and everybody else had to get off the porch. They understood that. They would literally do that. And just being a mom to Marble, I had got her when she was like literally a week or 2 old, you know, and I literally had to like nurse her and have her on my chest, like, to stay warm. Like, it was a really great experience. Every 2 hours she literally had to go to the bathroom. Like, we had to go outside, and the times that I would not listen to her, she would like shit in the playpen, and I'd be like, yep, that's my own fault, and I would just have to coddle her. Like, this is crazy. So, you know, I really taught her how to, you know, eat healthy. Like, I was giving her shredded chicken, you know, as she got older, with mashed potatoes, like legit baby food, giving her carrot juice, you know, letting her have my smoothies that I was drinking. Like, this was really a baby. And she just started running away out of nowhere. And there was nothing that I could really do about it, because I respected that she was born in the wild. That's her mom's DNA. This is who she is, whatever. But at some point, you know, I had to start praying over my dog, like, yo, don't be getting knocked up like in the first year, my guy. Like, settle down. You want to be outside in the streets, and I'm gonna let you be outside in the streets. Because she just wouldn't stay home. And she always came home every day to do yoga with me. Every single day. Every day, outside, 7 to 8 a.m. And on the days that I was late, she would be waiting for me, laying by the same bush where she was, like, when she was a baby. It's just the eeriest thing. But I say that all to say, when I started recognizing that dogs communicate a certain way, and if I'm looking into her eyes, she's looking into my eyes. Those eyes tell stories. And Marble, not saying that, you know, Marble's eyes told me something scary. It was just the commands, and knowing that, yo, imagine if dogs are rapists and this was like their punishment. That's why they be humping pillows and shit. Like, I was in DR having this conversation for like tapas, and we were playing Uno, discussing this, and they were like, I like it. You know, it actually makes a little sense. It kind of pushes your mind to the envelope, to the max. But, you know, but when I think about how uncles are notoriously the same people who molest their nieces or their little cousins or even their sisters, like, it's just something that I don't understand. Like, why does this notoriously happen, especially in the Black community? I can't attest to the white community or any other communities, because I am not of that. I just speak of what I know. And, you know, witnessing how slavery and beatings, and how, you know, that was still a very prevalent thing in our families from like the 60s to at least the 90s, you know. And seeing that there are parents who want to like coddle their children where they don't discipline them to the max, you know. You see like that spoiled kid nature. But I say that all to say, there are some, you know, kids who are a little softer than others, or a little less slowly developed, you know, than the others. And those are the ones that seem to get manipulated. And I'm still trying to understand like the possibility of, you know, incestuous relationships happening within inside people's families during the 60s, the 70s, the 80s, the 90s. let's go all the way back to dynasties, because we know that people oftentimes married their cousins. Somebody didn't want me to say that. People don't want them to marry their cousins, or people marry their cousins just to keep the bloodline pure and to maintain, you know, their legacy, their wealth. It's not an unfamiliar thing. So I feel like I'm really genuinely curious about why do older men or women feel the need to take someone's innocence when they're equally not on that level. You know, I was watching Juice the other day, you know, bits and pieces of it. It was on whatever app I was playing. That was the new movie that was playing at the time. And I was like, oh, this is my shit. What up, though, Omar? You know, and he was boning that older chick. He's in high school. Like, what? What are we talking about? It's as if it was just so normal. You know, we have to think about how back in the days, there were people who were like 14 who married older men. So I'm really trying to simply not necessarily cause a major trigger. I'm simply trying to understand the dynamics of relationships back in the day, and where did it become different? Why do people feel like this is the person that I'm attracted to? I believe my soul recognizes their soul, and me penetrating their innocence is a way of us uniting because our souls just connected. The age didn't matter. Is that a possibility? Or is it genuinely like people are just violent and convinced you that you were, you know, coming on to them as a child and they're mentally unstable, because that's also a very firm possibility. You know, studying psychology in both sociology and college, it really allowed me to study people's behaviors and minds and really come up with a consensus and feel energy, you know, about what people have done in their life. There comes some type of like clairvoyance where you can feel what people have done, what they're into, their behaviors. And it's uncomfortable to be seen, to know that somebody is intuitive enough to know your secrets. There was recently a man who was arrested after like 60, 70 years, something of another, for a murder because of a like Ancestry 23andMe type of vibration. He said when the boys pulled up, he knew exactly what they were there for. And he was like 84. Like, do you understand what is happening right now? And I'm having this conversation as the sirens go blaring again, because I've healed from a lot of abuse, physical abuse, verbal abuse, emotional abuse, financial abuse, economic, glass ceiling bullshit. Oh, you black and you got locks? And you Hispanic? And you came out of poverty? And you have this thing that you lived with your whole life called sexual abuse. And there's nothing no one can say to me to make me feel less than. I am more than able. I am a conqueror. My God is able. My Creator has made me this vibrant. People take pictures just to post them on social media, but their pictures just, they look terrible. Y'all not even happy. I glow from the inside out. Y'all not even happy. It shows your soul. Your soul is going to be exposed this coming year, my guy. This is not a game. It is not a game. Think about all of these things that you have gone through your life. You have to live with that emotion. Get rid of that shit, man. You cannot live with that type of baggage in a place, in a space where everything is virtual. Everything is virtual. We gotta change, and we gotta change quickly. You know, everybody isn't your friend. There are some people who have stolen your innocence, and again, my sincerest condolences, because it made you who you are today, and it is okay. You know, as special and colorful as you may be, I'm colorful as hell. Look at my outfit. You don't even know it. Today's the first day I had on the same socks. And I guess intuitively I just put them together that way for the first time in like a very long time. And I'm like, interesting. You know, I always do the two earring thing. And I think it's hysterical that today was the first time I wanted to be the same. It made me feel like I was falling off. And then I went for a walk. The sun was out. I'm still here. I'm thankful. I got a really good cold pressed juice today. I'm about to finish my nails. And I had to really ponder that thought. So I encourage you to write a letter to yourself at that age that someone, or the age that you realized someone was violating you. Write a letter to that self. It's okay to also acknowledge that age that it may have started, that you recall initially. You know, that of course is okay, but I don't feel like it's deeply necessary, because you want to write an apology letter to yourself. You know, it's okay to step outside of yourself for a moment and recognize that that weight can be released. You do not need to carry it any longer. You know, the lighter you get, the longer you'll run. Yo, the Bill Gates mosquitoes is OD big now. OD big now. Cheese and rice, my guy. Write a letter to yourself and apologize to yourself for any mishaps that you may think was your fault when you were a child. it's okay to sit outside of yourself and recognize that it was not your fault. You did not ask to be here. However, somehow you were still here. Consider those who transition and move on to another realm. Think about how you may feel like you want to escape it. Are we really so sad for them? You would want to celebrate something like that. Like, shit, they got up out of here. I am next. Think of that transition space as a way to save yourself to become what I call free as fuck.